Our film begins with a group of friends who decide to embark on an adventure by entering an abandoned cave. However, after 10 minutes, they discover something strange and terrifying that prompts them to quickly exit the cave to seek help. To their surprise, one of them discovers that the entire landscape has changed, and the earth has become a desert with sandstorms. In the sky, they see a flying spaceship, realizing that 5,000 years have passed outside the cave, and the world has transformed. The story then shifts to an archaeologist named Hopper, who is searching for his family that disappeared after moving into a cave in the 1970s, believing that his son possesses the ability to restore youth and cure diseases. Hopper notices another cave during his search and decides to explore it, despite his dog sensing something strange. As Hopper descends into the cave with a flashlight, he encounters a primitive-looking person standing still. The person's attire indicates that they belong to our time, and it seems like time has frozen for them. Hopper, frightened, retreats, returns to his car, and heads home. At his house, he meets two individuals, Tyler and Jackie, who were supposed to help him. However, Hopper changes his plan and decides to return to the cave alone, revealing that the situation has changed. Once inside the cave again, Hopper discovers a strange layer, like an atmospheric barrier separating the cave from the outside world. Determined, he enters the cave, causing the primitive person to move. Meanwhile, Hopper's friends, concerned about his absence for 2 days and no contact, decide to search for him near the cave. Since Hopper took their car, Tyler calls Carl, her friend, to bring her mother's car and join the search. Agreeing, Carla brings her sister, who is knowledgeable about caves due to her school research. Versi also brings her friend Tommy, and they set out to the location Hopper mentioned. There, they find a strange car that they recognize as Hopper's family car from the pictures inside. They discover a stretched rope leading into the cave and decide to follow it, leaving Tommy outside since he is afraid to descend. As they enter the cave, Carla notices the atmospheric layer and realizes the air inside is different from outside. They decide to prepare for the other side of this layer. Meanwhile, Hopper, who is following the primitive man, notices a giant figure with a flashlight. Suddenly, he hears someone screaming and escapes the cave. When Hopper, who was inside the cave for only 5 minutes, exits, he finds at nighttime and the landscape has drastically changed. Returning to his car, he discovers trees covering it, indicating the passage of many years. He also finds Carla's car and Jackie's bag, realizing they must be searching for him. He decides to re-enter the cave to find them. Inside the cave, the group hears a scream and, frightened, rushes out. Jackie exits first, the rope breaks, and she falls, getting injured. Tyler tries to save her, but the second rope is cut, and they assume Tommy is playing a prank. They try to contact him through the wireless, hearing a muffled voice seeking help. They initially think it's Tommy, but later realize the voice is coming from inside the cave. So they decide to go search for him, leaving Jackie behind because she's injured. They head to the other side and find the rope cut. Shocked, they discover Tommy's body and find his camera nearby. They play a video on the camera to understand what happened, finding a recording where Tommy says he found a notebook belonging to Mr. Hopper. In the notebook, it's written that the cave contains magical water that can cure any disease. Mr. Hopper's sister is seriously ill, so they decided to go to the cave to search for the magical water to heal her. Tommy noticed that days had passed for him while his friends were still inside the cave. Believing they might have died, he went searching for them. The time that passed for Tommy was only minutes for his friends. As he descends on the rope, he sees something strange, but the rope breaks and he falls. Despite surviving, he faints for an hour, wakes up, and contacts Tyler on the walkie-talkie. A primitive man appears and kills Tommy. Meanwhile, Brucey notices something strange in the time and date, although they've only been in the cave for an hour. Tyler and Jackie are infected, and Carla and Brucey decide to find help. Carla successfully exits the cave, but finds herself in a different and strange place, a desert with rocks and peculiar winds. She witnesses a sandstorm and sees a triangular object in the sky, attempting to contact the police but failing due to no network. Deciding to return to the cave, Carla's friends are surprised because she appears to have returned just seconds after leaving. However, Carla insists she was outside for over an hour. They realize time passes faster outside the cave and that time inside the cave is nearly frozen. They understand that the external environment experiences time more rapidly. They also grasp that the rope outside is cut, suggesting someone else might be out there. So the rope outside the cave got cut because a significant amount of time passed for them while they were watching the recording. They notice that the sun rises and sets in seconds, and days pass in a single moment. They realize that around 5,000 years passed for them, but it felt like an hour. Carla emerges from the cave to find an advanced ladder and a space-suited creature descending. Suddenly, the primitive man appears and attacks the extraterrestrial being, but the extraterrestrial manages to kill him. The group, frightened, runs into the cave, finding the body of another primitive man and the Hopper family all killed. 3 people from the cave residence appear, revealing they were the ones who killed the Hopper family. Tyler attacks them, but one of them kills him. The girls run to the other side of the cave, and Carla returns to find Tyler dead. The extraterrestrial reappears, takes Tyler's body, and places it in the water inside the cave. Miraculously, Tyler comes back to life. The cave residents attack the extraterrestrial, removing its helmet, making it unable to breathe. However, it manages to defeat the primitives before dying. It plays a video explaining that humans abandoned Earth due to pollution and sought refuge in space. They realize they have only 2 choices, either leave for another planet or continue living in the cave. Mr. Hopper, injured on the ground, shows a strange barrier between them and his dead sister. Suddenly, his dead sister, along with people from different eras, appears. They explain that the cave is a loop within a time loop, each loop having its own time. The purpose is to protect the magical water, which can heal using the unique properties of time. They use the water to heal Carla and revive Tommy. Suddenly, a primitive man enters, and the group decides what to do next. A group emerges from the cave and uses the extraterrestrial's ladder. As they ascend, they encounter a strange layer resembling water that separates the cave entrance. Carla attempts to pass through this layer, but a strange creature grabs her. They emerge to find human-like beings, but their bodies have changed after living on another planet. Carla wears a mask to breathe, crafted by the transformed beings. After a short period, they return to the cave. Carla, now wearing a spacesuit with a futuristic robe, leads the group. She rescues them, including Hopper and his family, using advanced technology. They all exit the cave, surprised. Carla sees them riding a spaceship, ready to transport them to a new planet for a fresh start. Hopefully, you enjoyed the film. Please support us with likes and subscriptions to the channel. See you in the next film. Goodbye.